So this keeps getting put off and put off and put off, and I'm afraid if I don't get the first real video out there that I'm going to keep putting it off. So I'm front stuck right now, and I'm just going to go ahead and do it and post it. And then if somebody else wants to do a different video later on, that is more professional, then they can do that. But I am JJ. I am 53 years old. I'm from a small town in Kentucky, where I grew up in the late 70s, early 80s. I participated in band, choir, theater, and went on to Eastern Kentucky University, where I majored in theater and got a teaching degree and became a teacher. And I did that successfully for a number of years. There were a couple of hiccups, but pretty much I was a very good teacher. And then I went on a trip to China. I applied and got selected as one of only 2 teachers in the state of Kentucky and only 20 nationwide to go that year. But unfortunately, when I came home from China, I brought some diseases with me. And they pretty much stopped my teaching career. And then I kind of lost it for a while, and was on disability, and I didn't know what to do because my health was not to where I could teach anymore. Not like I wanted to, because I'm not going to teach if I can't be a good teacher, and I just had the energy to sit at a desk. So I became a tax accountant. Did that for a little while, didn't make very good money, and then I became a computer programmer, and that's what I'm currently doing. But I think that career is getting ready to come to its natural end, and I need to figure out something else. So I do not think that this is going to be what I end up doing as a career for a while, because I know that it takes followers in order to make money doing just YouTube. But I have a lot to offer and a lot to speak about, and I'm afraid if I keep putting this off that I'm not going to get to be able to talk about the things that I'm interested in. So now I'm going to introduce something that all of me is interested in, and that's dissociation. Normal dissociation happens to everyone. There is a theory that all children, have normal dissociation when they're younger, and actually have different sides to themselves. And that's why you can have a child that is very calm one moment, and then something triggers them and they become a little terror. But they believe that around the age of 7 to 9, that all of those different modes fuse together and become one personality, one consciousness, and people live their life as one consciousness. So that's, but they still have normal dissociation. We all do. Like when we're driving somewhere and then all of a sudden you're there and you're like, I don't even remember turning. And we all have periods where we daydream, and when we just space out. That's normal. It ends up becoming abnormal or called a disorder whenever it starts to disrupt your life or the lives of people who are in your life. And that's when it does become a disorder. So those different, they are considered now to be trauma disorders because it all goes back to childhood. If you do not work through the dissociative states in childhood and then come together as one consciousness, then you may have some recurring dissociation that is abnormal, not just driving down the street and then you all of a sudden are at your location. But during your normal day-to-day life, when you're trying to be a successful person. So those dissociative disorders, the least severe one is depersonalization, derealization disorder. And that's what I've been diagnosed with. The next severe one is other specified dissociative disorders, OSDD. And there are a couple different types of those, and I need to do research to know exactly all the specifics. But basically, that is when you do have other dissociative states. Instead of just one consciousness, you have multiple consciousnesses, and you have different dissociative states that have no amnesia blocks. That's one type of OSDD, and then there's another type too. And then the most severe type is Dissociative Identity Disorder, or DID. And that is where you do have some amnesia blocks. So you have multiple consciousnesses, or multiple alters, as they are called. And you do have amnesia moments where you can't remember things that the other alters did. So I introduced you to myself as JJ at the beginning, but I am also Jude. I am JJ1. I was the first JJ to be formed. I do think that I'm blended with the others because I'm usually not this confident. I'm usually more awkward than this. I am usually more doubtful and worried about things. So I definitely feel that I'm blended with my headmates right now, of which there are 3. I was the first, and probably the reason that we are the way that we are, because I do think that I struggle socially. I do think that I have some autistic tendencies. They're not coming out right now because I am blended with my headmates, but if you view my channel more than this one, oh, and by the way, subscribe so you can get, this is the first of many. So anyway, the first one, I don't want to go into specifics about that right now. Those are for another video. The second was Harper. And I know that you'll meet her and you'll probably love her. She's a lot of fun, and most people get exhausted by her. And then the third was Bree. The verdict's still out. She might be a demon. No, I'm just teasing. I do not believe that any of us are demons. I think that we're all versions of me. That were created through my confusion with the way that the world is. Some people call that trauma. I don't know if what I went through, if everything that I went through that made me the way that I am could be considered trauma. I do know that there were some trauma moments. So anyway, Bree is not, she is just a part of me, and she was the third to be born. And then the fourth to be born was Jessie, and she is delightful. You're going to love her. So that's us, and I'm excited for this to happen.